Hi, my name's Tahnee and I'm a physiotherapist from Beleura Health Solutions. Today we're going to be adding to our Pilates sequence and we're going to be running through an exercise called the knee stretch. As with all our Pilates exercises, they're going to be focusing on strengthening through our core and stabilising our lumbar and pelvic region. Good. So to begin the knee stretch, we need to be in a kneeling position. Ideally, your knees need to be hip width apart, and we need to, as always, find our neutral spine. So if you're unsure of how to find your neutral spine, simply place your hands on your hips, and we're going to gently rock the pelvis forward, and then rocking gently backwards, and we're going to pause in the middle, and that will be our neutral position. So throughout this exercise, you need to hold neutral by keeping your shoulder, hip, and knee in line. When we come into this exercise, we're going to be using our knees as a pivot point. So our whole body stays lovely and still, and all the movement comes from the knees. Before we begin, you need to engage through your pelvic floor and deep tummy muscles. Good. We're now going to lift our hands up to shoulder height, ensuring that our body position doesn't change. And as we breathe in, we're going to be leaning backwards from the knees, keeping the shoulder, hip and knee perfectly in line. And then we breathe out and return to the start position. So once again, we breathe in as we lean backwards through the knees and breathe out as we come back into that kneeling position. Good. So some common things to watch out for when we're doing the knee stretch is that we lose control through our pelvic area. So commonly we see people sticking their bottoms out to try and use some muscles to stabilise, or we see people arching backwards, which jams up their back. So it's important that you keep yourself in neutral and use your core muscles to keep your shoulder, hip and knee in line at all times. And you're coming back in a nice straight line. Good, so once you've mastered the knee stretch and want to make it a little bit more tricky, we can add some extra elements. So once again, always in that nice neutral position, hands are up, shoulder blades are lightly squeezed. As we breathe in, we come backwards and we pause here. Now keeping your hips pointing directly forward, you're going to open your chest, open to one side, come back to the centre position, and then over to the other side. And then as you breathe out, you come back into that kneeling position. So importantly, keep those hips forward and making sure you're not leaning back through that spine. So I recommend doing this exercise about 10 to 15 times, and you want to do 3 sets in a sequence. You can do this 2 to 3 times a week, along with all the other exercises we've given you here. Hope you found this useful, and I'll see you next time.